Now on Talking Solutions, let's join Paws. Welcome, Cheryl Moss.
Thank you for having me.
I'm a total pet person. I want to know about your group.
Let's Join Paws is an online, free of charge dog sharing service. Our aim is to match up those busy dog owners whose dogs are sitting home alone for hours at a time with those same individuals that are sitting home with time on their hands who could absolutely benefit from the love and unconditional acceptance that a dog gives naturally.
So you could borrow a dog.
Exactly. In fact, our app, which is being built as we speak, will be called Share a Dog.
Oh, that sounds so cute.
Yes.
So many situations have just popped to mind, like someone who lives in an apartment that does not allow pets, but they really, really miss having a dog around. Maybe they could go and share a pet, as you're saying, take that animal out to the dog park, have a wonderful day together, and then take the dog back home.
Exactly. It's like you have now got an aunt or an uncle, and it's different than fostering in that this dog already has a home. It's funny you should mention that, Terry, because we actually had a situation where a single mom had a lovely dog and she would leave him home while she was at work. But what she didn't know was that he was crying all day. And this was disturbing the gentleman downstairs. So she went to speak with him because he was complaining. And long story short, he ended up being the very man who volunteered to watch this dog, whose name was Sammy. He ended up getting a key to her apartment. They became best friends. It just built a wonderful relationship out of a need for both of them. This individual really needed a dog in his life. And of course, Sammy benefited as well.
That's one of those situations that sounds like it's meant to be.
We just want to have the vehicle built so that people, when they are stressed out about their dog or feeling guilty or overwhelmed, we want to match those people up with somebody. When I have fostered, I've had people walk by going, I would love to have a dog, but I can't afford it. But I travel. But I'm not sure about my health at this time. Many a reason. But if they could share that dog, knowing that there's a backup plan in place, I think we as a community would be better served.
I just think it sounds like a lot of fun, and I don't know of any pet anywhere, no animal, dog, cat, well, cats maybe not so much, but I don't know of any pet that gets too much attention.
No, that's what they're hardwired for. They want to be a part of our lives.
It's all about them.
Yes.
Pay attention to me now. More. Cheryl Moss is with us. We're talking about a new organization here in town called Let's Join Paws. Cheryl, what was the genesis? What made this group come to be?
My daughter fell in some challenging times, and I had heard that one of the things that might help her would be to get a dog. And so she rescued a little Scottish Terrier, and he became a constant companion in her life. And it was at that time that I really got to see what a dog can bring to one's life. At the same time, my husband at the time moved in, and he brought with him his watchdog, Shadow. I hadn't ever had a dog, and I didn't really know how to take care of him. And he was saying, well, we'll get another dog of our own. And I'm like, I don't know how to take care of the dog we have. But what he ended up telling me was about when he was a child, and he was raised with a single mother, and he was put on a bus to go visit his father, who wasn't there very much. However, this dog, Cookie, was. So he spent the week with Cookie. And when he was put on a bus to go back home, he cried the whole way home. That story just hit me. And I thought, okay, we will get a dog. I just woke up, quite honestly, Terry. I realized the joy and the love that a dog can bring to one's life. So I started volunteering. I started working at the Animal Foundation. We started fostering. And I want this for everyone. Now that I know what it's like everybody can benefit from the love of a dog.
Mentioning fostering specifically too, Cheryl, I don't think a lot of people realize that when you foster an animal, it doesn't cost you a bunch of money because that organization says, look, we'll give you what you need. We'll give you the food. We'll take care of any needs for that animal. We just need someone to care for the animal, socialize the animal, and basically babysit, take care of it. But it's not a big expense to the person who decides to become a foster parent for an animal.
That's exactly right. Yes. The only request is to spend some time with this animal, show this animal that there's love and stability out there so that they can find their next home, hopefully their permanent home. You're really doing a service, and it doesn't need to cost anything.
Let's Join Paws. You might have the option of helping military members.
Absolutely. I think we're a perfect fit for that. You have a lot of people who have served our country, and they're in various states of stress. They're still recovering. And what better way to recover than with the unconditional love of a pet? A pet isn't going to judge you. And maybe they can't take it full time. They have to take care of themselves first. But on a part-time basis, I think there are many situations where a pet could play in the healing of both the service member as well as the pet.
The medical benefits of being around animals is so well documented.
That's right.
I mean, it reduces stress. It is part of that healing process. For instance, as you're mentioning, perhaps a veteran who is dealing with PTSD, to get a pet, they could bond and learn to trust each other, and it helps to heal those invisible wounds.
Right, because animals pick up on our energy, and while we may be able to fool the rest of the world, animals know if we're fearful, they know if we've been hurt, and they're able to call us on it and help us to get over it.
Cheryl Moss is visiting today on Talking Solutions with Let's Join Paws.
We continue to update our technology. As you know, everything now has gone to the app.
Yes.
So we, just having had a wonderful fundraiser, I need to mention at Colors Inc., Leslie Paragary, a wonderful friend of mine, was so generous in giving us her space. We were able to raise the money to build our app, which should be finished by the end of the year, so that everyone will have it on their phones and you can message each other and make it just so easy to connect.
Do you foresee, Cheryl, that when you get the app up and functioning for Let's Join Paws, that the actual scope of what you can do with this charity, it's pretty much unlimited? There's a lot of things going on with pets that I think you could be of help with. Do you see the possibility that maybe Let's Join Paws will also help in introducing people who need to rehome an animal with someone who maybe could help with that?
Absolutely. I'm a firm believer that if you have a pet, you need a backup plan. Everybody may say, well, I'm good right now. I've got my neighbor, I've got my daughter that can step in, but situations change. Just as you mentioned, you may have to move, divorce, illness. How many pets end up in the shelters? Loved pets whose owner fell sick and is no longer able to care for that pet. If we all had a backup plan, if we all knew somebody who knew our pet, who could step in during those times, think how much better off we would be. So I agree with you. I think that with this app, we can reach out. We can be that vehicle where I am posting for some help right now. Is there anyone out there? There's a lot of people out there I know who would be willing and happy to step in, especially if it's a temporary situation. When you know that there's somebody on the other end who loves this pet and wants to, support it in any way that it can, and you can share it, I think the opportunities are unlimited. I think we should all have an account with Let's Join Paws.
I think I'll be signing up for that when you get it going. It's a win-win.
That's right.
All the way around.
Yes. I have a father who's 85, and he's a perfect example of somebody who knows every pet, every dog down his street by name. They all come to him. He would be a perfect candidate for somebody who could watch your dog for a few hours a day. He couldn't take on the full responsibility, but I believe we would be doing a service also to our elderly. Some of us are sitting home alone. Our families are out of town. There's more to life than TV and the mail and the doctor's office.
Well, and you hear all the time, they do those stories on the news that make you go, oh.
Yeah.
Where they've taken therapy animals into a nursing home, or they've taken them into Children's Hospital, or my latest example, and this really did happen with the UNLV Nutrition Department. My friend Laura, who runs that department, the college students were getting ready for finals, very stressful time of the year. They brought in puppies. Stuff like that helps.
As you said, it's documented. We know that stuff works. And perfect example would be a young family that's working all day. They pile everyone into the car. They drive their pet down the street to this elderly couple, as an example, who watch their dog during the day. In the evening, they come back for him or her. On the weekends, it belongs to them. They're financially responsible, but here we are sharing our pet. As you said, it's documented that the endorphins are flowing from the dog to the person, and the health benefits are undisputed.
Just a few weeks back, a friend of mine got a little beagle puppy named George. Everybody loved George. Adorable. But a puppy at that young age is very high maintenance, and he works a lot of hours. He ended up, sadly, deciding that the best thing for this little puppy was to give it to a family with a couple of kids who had had a beagle before and were so excited and got that puppy lined up for obedience training right away, and they're spending time. And it ended up being a great situation, but maybe it might have gone a different direction with Let's Join Paws, because maybe that puppy could have stayed with the original owner with other answers to help keep the puppy occupied during those long work hours.
Exactly. And then they would have a backup plan. I think we, as a society, are trained to believe, okay, you have to own it or I have to own it. But the concept of sharing it is the new idea.
I like this new idea. One of the things that we do, Cheryl, as part of Talking Solutions is ask, what can we do to help you?
Thank you for asking, Terry. It's all about awareness. I believe once people know about it, and especially once we have our app, once people know about it, they'll start using it, they'll trust it, and it takes a community. Like a Match.com, think of that. If there were just 2 people that signed up, what are the chances? The more people that sign up, the more chances for success, the more options. And one day, all of a sudden, it's like, oh yeah, let's just share our dogs.
I'm guessing that most people who find out about what you're doing with Let's Join Paws go, I never heard of anything like this before.
That's exactly right. I hear that every day.
It's groundbreaking. That's the great thing about technology. We can come up with ideas we never thought of.
Exactly.
All right. I can't wait to hear about your app when you get that going.
It's in development as we speak. It should be ready the end of the year.
Is there anything else that you need?
We just need participation because, as I said, it's a free service. Everybody has a dog, wants a dog, could spend some time with a dog, needs a play date for a dog. Just think of us, use us. I think once you do, you will start to see that this is a great way to have a pet and we can take care of our animals instead of finding them surrendered. With this as another option, I believe we're going to help with the no-kill model that's being put in place now so that we can save our animals, so that we don't think about surrendering them first. We think about sharing them.
All these pets are going to get more attention. They're going to be happier.
We're going to be happier.
Yes, all of us.
You know, I drive home, my garage door goes up, I wave hi, my garage door goes down, and that's my whole exposure to my neighborhood. You know, we've got people in our neighborhoods who'd be willing to help or who need our help. And I think the dog is the perfect conduit to find those connections.
Because dogs are just good to have around.
They are.
They're good for all of us. Am I forgetting anything?
I don't think so. If anybody is interested, I've written 2 books about the subject. They're 2 children's books.
Look at that.
Jenny the Magical Dog Next Door and Jenny Saves the Day. They're both basically written to explain the concept. And as we speak, I'm taking these 2 books and putting together a curriculum that can be offered to after-school programs in the schools, because this is written for a 6-year-old, maybe 7-year-old.
Mm-hmm. It looks like elementary school.
Yeah, but when I was coming up with the idea, I had had people go, what is Let's Join Paws? What does that mean? So I thought, well, let's write a couple books to explain how it could work. And then, you know, also the messaging, as I think I have mentioned, the new app will be called Share a Dog, because there's just nothing vague about that. It's like you don't have to say, well, what does that mean? Whereas Let's Join Paws, there's questions at times.
I like the name of the organization.
Yeah.
But once again, you end up being in the position each time it's mentioned where you go, what does that mean?
Right. So we're going to be transitioning, I think, to Share a Dog or Let's Share a Dog. But I have a couple of books and they're available on our website, also through Amazon if you wanted to check them out. I just kind of explain the concept.
They're cute.
Through the eyes of my dog, Jenny. We're going to be promoting our app. We're on social media. You can check us out and like us and follow us on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter. It's Let's Join Paws.
So Let's Join Paws.
You'll see us. We've been at the Hearts Alive benefits. We attend many community events so that people know who we are. And it's just about getting the word out.
We will put those links on our Talking Solutions Facebook page.
Okay.
Along with the podcast of what we've been talking about today.
Thank you.
We don't even have a pet in the room, but I still feel that warm, fuzzy pet kind of feeling. Because we've been talking about Let's Join Paws.
Yeah.
Cheryl Moss, do we call you creator?
I think of myself as the founder. It's a nonprofit, 501c3, Let's Join Paws.
We want to help raise awareness about this wonderful organization and your app that is coming very soon to let us all get those pets shared. More people get the benefits.
Thank you.
Cheryl Moss, thank you for joining us today on Talking Solutions.